Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with my third layout using my Scraptastic kit from August. Um, this is actually some photos from August of 2015. So I'm going to use this title card that came in the kit, but I'm going to cover up the 2016 and just put 2015 instead. And since I use white pockets in my white cards in my 4x6 pockets, that title card fits perfect because the edges are white. Now I'm cutting down this other kind of plaid card to be able to mount on some white cardstock to make that pocket also have that white border like I always do on all my 4x6 pockets. So this layout's actually pretty photo heavy. There are going to be 2 photos on that top row as you see, 2 in the middle row, but I am going to create a flip pocket, so there's actually going to be 3 photos here, and then the 2 4x6 photos in the bottom. I pretty much was running out of 4x6 pockets, so it's kind of good that I had so many, not 4x6 pockets. I was running out of 4x6 cards with this with this kit, so it's a good thing that I actually am using more of the 3x4 cards instead. As you can see, Kaylin's doing his art projects on the floor beside me. He needed my pin bucket. All right, so this is the basic layout. I really like that card that says "Love you, little dude." It just is really cute, and I wanted to make sure that I included it. I have a photo of my nephew here on the left in the middle, and he has a sticker from a police officer on. They were sitting at a airport, and I want to say that maybe their flight was delayed, so they were trying to entertain him and walk him around, and someone gave him a sticker that had a badge on it, and he kept saying, "I'm official." My sister sent us the pictures. The top photos are just of Ernest and I out eating lunch one day while Kaylin was at preschool, and we just had a day date that day. He was only in preschool till like 12:30 in the afternoon, so we had a lunch at the Cheesecake Factory, and then we went to pick him up. And then the photos in the middle on the right are of Kaylin and I sitting out at the pool. He's enjoying a nice frozen fruit popsicle while we had the break at the pool. And then the photos on the bottom, the right one is just a photo of Raleigh, like an overview of Raleigh. And then the one on the left is a picture of Ernest and Kaylin on a hayride that we went on. We went to one of my brother-in-law's uncle's house for I can't remember what they were having, if it was I think it was just like a little get together on the farm, and we took a hayride, and I just took a picture of the boys. I put it in black and white because there were a lot of background colors coming through, and it looked a little bit more serene in the black and white than it did with all the true colors in the background. So because I have so many 3x4 cards left, I decided to go ahead and cut a few of them up and use the embellishments off of them. Like this right here says, "Everyday moments, memories made," and then it says "love together." And actually I can't remember what the very top word says, but it says "love together," and I'm going to add a sticker that says "buddy." I have like a father and son sticker set, and it has the word "buddy" on there, so I'm going to put it right there. That's that one, that Phrase Cafe sticker. It's a clear sticker, so I'm going to put it on a piece of white cardstock and then cut it out, and I'm just going to put that above that "love together," so it's going to say "buddy" and then "love together," because Ernest calls Kaylin his little buddy. And actually, Kaylin and I went on a hike today, and he was telling me that Ernest is his best friend and all of this stuff. So it's actually kind of cute looking at this today, because I did this layout the other day in this voiceover I'm doing today, but it was just kind of funny because it's kind of the same thing. They're little buddies. Like, they hang out all the time because Ernest stayed home with him for the first couple years of his life. They're really, really close. I worked full-time during the day, and then Ernest, his schedule kind of floats. So he had a lot more time during the day with Kaylin as he was younger, while I was working more of a regular schedule. Ernest works really early and really late in the evening sometimes, so he gets that daytime with Kaylin a lot, and it's really been special for the two of them in their relationship. I am just trimming down these 3x4 cards. I've been doing that with almost every single kit that I've used this year. I always use the Design A page protector from Becky Higgins. Now, I do sometimes use other inserts and other sizes in my album, but for the standard layouts that I do for the month, I use the Design A page protector or 12x12 full spreads. And because I do those 12x12 page protectors, the Design A, the pocketed ones, I like to measure each of my cards to be the same size as a standard Project Life branded card. That way, regardless of what kit I use, I measure all the cards down to that size and I round the corners just to the middle row. That way you can't see the pocket or the card on the other side. And then I always have my 4x6 pockets to have the white border with the squared corners. I just really like consistency. My pages don't have to match from page to page, but I like not being able to see the pockets on the other side, like the cards on the opposite side of the page. It's just a little like quirky thing I have, but it works. And I'm really happy with the way that it looks. So this card, or this picture, I decided to cut down just a little bit, but then I mounted it on some white cardstock so it still had that white border. And that card actually says love. And so it's going to have love, and then it has Kaylin's picture. And then I'm going to use the opposite side of it for some journaling. And then I'm going to put this photo underneath this flip pocket. And at the end of this video, I'll show you how I create this flip pocket. And I just wanted the hearts. You can't really see them, but there's hearts at the very bottom of that card where it says love. I had cut off the other side to use it. And so I just put that love card on top of another card with the hearts on it, just to make it a full 3x4 size. Now I'm trimming out my exclamation point, and I'm just going to put it on top of this card with the bands of color. So it's just a filler card. These two cards in the middle are filler cards, but I am going to use a few embellishments to decorate them. One thing that you can see to the left right there that I've added into this kit to create this layout, I had pulled out those little cork pieces that you can see there, like those little cork arrow banner things, to possibly add a few in on this page. I have a few cork pieces left from the kit, but I don't have a ton of them left, and they're kind of big, like they're the big arrows. And so I thought about pulling in these other cork pieces to bring another cork element to the page, and use up some of the other without having to have like a huge cork piece. So I was debating on what to put on the title card here, so I decided to use these puffy alpha stickers, and I'm just going to put Hello August. And then this is where I'm going to trim out that 2015 and use it over that 16. I like these calendar cards from Ellie's Studio, and I've been using them every month, but since this one already had August written on it, and it was in this kit, and that's kind of what I was doing for the month, I decided to use it and just trim out this 2015. So it still has a bit of that consistent element throughout the 2015 album, but it doesn't make every single title card exactly the same. And then I just use that chipboard tab that says routine, and it brings in that teal, that darker teal color. Oh, and what I layered my 2015 little block on was just that little glassine bag that some of the embellishments came in the kit. And then I put another piece of that glassine bag right there. So now I'm going to work on this top card here, and I'm going to use these Tile Alphas, and these are from Rosie Studio, and they're called mini statement stickers. And these were sent to me from a friend, and these are really cute. I love these. I really like the gray ones in particular. I love gray, pink, navy, teal. I think those are my favorite colors to scrapbook with. And so I'm just going to do the date part in the capital letters, and then the day in the lowercase letters. And then I'm going to add just a few more embellishments. I'm going to add a flare badge, but it's going to be on the outside of the page protector. So I may lay it up here in just a moment so you can see it, but it's not actually going to be adhered until it goes onto the page protector. I considered putting these two wood veneer words that say go and see, but I'm going to end up saving those for the last layout that I'm going to use with this kit. So there's that cork circle that I was considering using down here, and that's also why I pulled out these other cork pieces to see if I can put them anywhere and make them work. And then I just used that XO right there. So that picture down at the bottom is done. I didn't want to add too many embellishments to it. Pretty much done with my cards, just kind of flipping through to see if there's anything else that I want to use. And I decided to go ahead and stamp out one of these stamps, and I'm stamping they had these circles, and I'm stamping them to see if I can cut them out and use them anywhere. And I'm not going to actually use it on this layout, but I will use one on the very final layout with this kit. And it just has this little camera. Trying to see if it worked anywhere, and I wanted to layer something on top of that exclamation point, but I'm going to end up using one of those black acrylic cameras instead. I'm going to take the one that's down at the bottom and then layer something else right there on top of that. And that's the one I'm going to layer right there that says current obsession. So I'm going to put this cork circle kind of hanging off the side, and then I'm going to put that current obsession chipboard sticker laying over top of it. But since it's already kind of dimensional on the one end where the cork piece is, I just have to add a few little bits of foam to make it all consistent across. And that just says current obsession. We live in Raleigh. We've been in Raleigh for 12 years. Yes, I moved here 12 years ago. Whoa, no. 14 years ago. Whew. Ernest and I have been together for 12 years. I moved here in college, and we've been together since my sophomore year. Is that right? Oh, I guess that's right. Sophomore year. I think that's right. That's really bad. I think that's right. I'm pretty positive it was spring of my sophomore year. But anyways, so we've lived in Raleigh the whole time, and the city has totally grown since we've been here. And we've made our home here. So I want to make sure that I have a picture of that in here, because if we ever move, Raleigh is definitely a part of who we are and how we came to be who we are, especially as a couple and as a family. I wanted to use this geotag, and I stamped it directly on that card, but it kind of smeared because the cards have a little bit of a glossy finish to them. And so I just stamped it on a piece of white cardstock and put it there. Then I have a piece, I'm just kind of going through the little bits and pieces. I have a significant pile of trash accumulating there to the right of the screen. But I keep all my little bits and pieces. I don't keep like the little tiny itty bitty pieces especially if it's like a white scrap, I'll just throw that away because there's no point in me keeping that. But if there is a scrap of a colored card, then I'll keep that to use. And then I always trim up the little labels. I use like halves of them and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm tucking in here and there. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just tuck in little pieces where they fit and where they look good. Trying to think, it almost looks done to me, but I know it's not done because I have a lot of this video left to go. I do spend a good amount of the end of this video creating my little flip pocket, and I'll share that with you. I'll show you everything that I do. I'm just sorting through all my remaining pieces, figuring out which trash, and kind of just reorganizing. That way I can see what I have to work with and see what else I could possibly add. I pulled out these C'est La Vie stickers from, I think they're pink paisley, and I'm just going to add them in a few little places. They kind of bring in, they're black stickers, but they are also see-through, so they almost appear dark gray, which matches those day date alpha stickers that I used at the top. So it continues that color scheme a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little bit of journaling, and this is where I'm going to put the I'm official, because that's what he was saying in that picture. And then I'm going to use a sticker next to it that says so true. I like these pink paisley little, I guess they're like acetate words or acetate stickers. They're see-through, but they are adhesive, which makes it really, really nice. This black acrylic camera is going to go on the outside of the page protector, just like that flare badge at the top. So it's just going to sit there for now. It's not going to be adhered yet. I've just got it sitting there, that way I know. And I'm going through and using up more of these. I have a ton of these stickers left, funny enough, and even though I felt like I used them pretty well, so I'm kind of keeping them out and using them where I can, just to try to make sure I maximize the use out of those. So this is the back of the flip pocket, and it's going to say be spontaneous at the top, and then the bottom one says perfect day. Then I have some stars that I'm putting off to the top here, and I'm going to put a sticker on that picture of Ernest on our day date card that says loving you. And then I already said the one with my nephew says hashtag so true, and so it says I'm official, and then it says hashtag so true, and then I had cut up that card that said overheard. And that overheard is actually in the same font as the puffy alpha stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and put my journaling here. And my journaling is just going to go on a piece of scrap journaling paper that I have. It was out of a, it's not really, I think it was like a, these pages are from, I think those are from a party planner set that I had gotten from somewhere, and I just kind of use them as journaling pieces. And so what I'm going to put is, one of our favorite places to go during the summer is the pool. A standard each time is a real fruit popsicle. That is what we get every single time we're there, if it is while the little cafe is open. Cafe isn't always open, or if the weather's bad and there's not enough people at the pool, then they won't have the cafe open. Like if it storms and then it stops storming and then it storms, they won't reopen the cafe. They'll just kind of leave it closed. But one of our favorite things to do while we're at the pool is to get those popsicles, because they're so delicious. They're like fruit and cream popsicles. Oh, they're so good. And then this is where I'm going to put that love sticker, and I'm just going to make it a banner by trimming off trimming a little banner into the edges. That's my pool buddy. We go to the pool together. He loves the pool. We didn't get to go very much this summer because he was in camp all summer, and his camp now is all day, whereas last year it was just during the morning. But now that he was old enough to be in kindergarten, he's part of the all-day camp, and I'm telling you, this boy is so busy now. It's a little bit disappointing because we don't do quite as much, but it's also really exciting for him because he can really do a lot more than he ever has before. But like today, I said we went on a hike. Oh my gosh, we went on a 2-hour hike. I think we hiked like 5 miles, and it was not a finished path really. So I am like tired. I know he's got to be tired, but I'm exhausted. Taking a 5-year-old on a hike. I mean, he did really good. He didn't start getting tired really until the very last mile, and it was kind of uphill, but it was good. We got to look at a lot of different things, look at different kind of mushrooms on the ground and different trees and animals, and we saw a lake and a couple little streams, and it was a lot of fun. So even though he's so busy now, looking back at these photos, since these are from last year, I thought we were busy then, and we really weren't that busy then. Now it's a little bit crazy because we're extremely busy now. So I really like going back and scrapbooking. Some people, it stresses them out to be so behind on their scrapbooking, but me, it's almost like a moment to reminisce, because at the time, like I said, I felt like we were so busy back last year at this time, and we weren't. Now it's like insane compared to where we are now. So I'm creating my flip pocket, and I figured out that this was going to be on the back side of a page protector. I plan out roughly what pages I am going to be doing when I print my photos, so I can make sure I print enough photos and I have the right number of pages. That way my months are all together. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch one of my album flips, and you can see how I organize my albums, because I do the same thing every year. Just sticking all the all the cards in, and then putting my last little bits on top. And then I'm going to take that little flip pocket. I just cut up a piece of random page protector. Tuesday morning at one time, they had a whole bunch of different, I think they were We Are Memory Keeper page protectors that were in a whole bunch of different designs, and they were like $1 for 10 page protectors. So I bought a couple different mixed packages of them, and I use them now to just cut up into pieces. So like this was, I think it was a 4x6 pocket that I just trimmed out of the page protector, and then I trimmed it down to be a 3x4 pocket. I wanted it to open on the side just in case I wanted to add anything else, and so that's what I did. But I wanted to make sure the seams were there to make sure that the edges were finished on them. And then I'm just going to punch a whole bunch of little holes and then stitch this on. I'm going to hand stitch it. Now you can definitely use your sewing machine, but I just felt like hand stitching it for whatever reason today. I've done flip pockets in a whole bunch of different ways, and someone has requested that I do a video showing how I do those, and I definitely will. But I haven't quite figured out how to film with my sewing machine here, because my camera is not high enough to have my sewing machine under it and be able to see what I'm doing. So I haven't done that yet, and maybe I won't even have my sewing machine in the screen. Maybe I'll just show you what I'm going to do, go stitch, and then come back and show you exactly where I stitched. But I've probably made flip pockets in 4 or 5, maybe 6 different ways. I don't know. This stuff is interesting to me. I like being able to figure out how to make interactive pages and different pages. That way, even though I use the same design A page protector every single time, it looks a little bit different. It doesn't, each one is not exactly the same every single time. So that's what this is. So I just taped that card or that little flip pocket exactly where I wanted it. I punched the holes with a needle, and then now I'm threading my needle, and I'm just going to hand stitch this. Now I'm going to use a back stitch. That way it looks like a solid white line of thread across, and it also just helps maintain stability in that same not in the same part, but maintain stability across the entire top of that flip pocket. Now it's kind of hard to see where you punched your holes whenever you're using a clear page protector, but you just have to be patient and continue to work with it, and you have to make sure your needle is big enough to be able to thread your needle, but not too big to make the holes giant, because you don't want the holes giant. You have much more of a chance of ripping the holes if your needle's too big. So this is just an overlook of the layout, and then I'm going to show you the flip pocket after I finish stitching it. I spared you so you didn't have to watch me sit there and hand stitch it the entire time. So this is what the flip pocket looks like, and then this completes the layout. It's very I'm very happy with it. So you can see the flip pocket right here, and you can see how it's stitched across the entire top, and then that card is actually open on the side, so the card can come out and you can actually see it, but it doesn't actually like slip out. So but that's it. That completes my layout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this, and subscribe to my channel if you are not a subscriber already. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.